Welcome to another episode of WTF Cinema.
Welcome back to the Doom Generation. Let's finish. You know, it's really easy to make a movie when the audience can't see what's going on. I'd imagine it'd save you tons of money on costume designs, set designs, pretty much anything that we as the audience would see visually. You don't really have to spend money on. Just make it so we can't see. With that in mind, I would like to share with you one of my early student films made when I was still a film school student. It's a beautiful silent film wherein Batman fights Godzilla, and then after defeating him learns that he's pregnant with Godzilla's children. It's really a deep, moving story, but what I want to show you here is the fight sequence between Batman and Godzilla. Now, I apologize for the lack of sound. It was a silent film, but I think you'll agree the visuals are quite stunning. Buy some freaking lights! So while whiny girly boy and Rose are sleeping, Jerkwad pulls out his penis and goes to molest Rose, who wakes up, so naturally they... And there went Rose's ability to be a slightly relatable character. God, I hate this movie. Meanwhile, the fast food guy managed to somehow track them down to their hotel room, even though if they were going to pay, it was going to be with cash, which they didn't have. So maybe it's the only hotel in town? I don't know how he tracked them down. And I don't know why we bothered to show him tracking them down, because they escape unharmed. Although they did take the guy's arm. Man, people in this movie just aren't as attached to their body parts as you would expect. So in this spectacularly lit scene, Jerkwad explains that he's killed many people before. What a likable character. Now, when whiny girly boy learns that Rose and Jerkwad have had sex, he reacts exactly like you'd expect him to, by not giving a crap. Hooray for relatable characters! And again, a person mistakes Rose for an ex-girlfriend. Is this supposed to be funny? 'Cause it's not. What are you trying to tell me here? Please just explain to me what I'm supposed to be feeling. If you'll tell me what to feel during these scenes, I promise to do my best to feel it. I swear I will. So our characters escape to the set of Beetlejuice, I guess. And since they're there, Rose and whiny girly boy decide to... And then the boyfriend goes to grab some food, leaving Jerkwad alone with Rose, and... Now, when whiny girly boy sees his girlfriend and Jerkwad having sex through the window, he does what I think any of us would do in a similar situation. He starts to play with himself and his yo-yo. I really, really hate this movie. Hey, and now the FBI is after our characters. They've declared these 3 teens part of a paramilitary organization, and they're out to kill them at all costs. Finally, some characters that I can root for. Except we never see or hear anything from them again for the rest of the movie. So we just took this time out to have FBI officials label them as a paramilitary organization. 3 teenagers aren't any kind of organization, paramilitary or no. And then we never address them again. Way to get my hopes up, movie. I really was rooting for these guys for the 10 seconds they were on screen. They were the only characters I liked. So our characters continue their pointless road trip. They take time out to discuss things that I'm sure somebody thought was deep and philosophical. Dude, my friend died, and then he was, like, gone, and it was, like, weird because he was alive, and now he's not. Yeah, this is really deep. And then Rose runs into another person who mistakes her for a former lover. I don't care if this is supposed to be funny anymore. I'm just bored with it.
Life is lonely, boring, and dumb.
There. I don't even need to review the movie. Rose McGowan just did it for me. There you go. There's your review. Right there. Now, while camping again for the night, Rose decides to flip a coin to decide which person she's gonna sleep with first. Her boyfriend, or Jerkwad. And... after Jerkwad's done, he goes to get the boyfriend. me say this. If I'm dating somebody, and there's a debate as to who gets to have sex with her first, me or the murderous bastard we've picked up on our travels, and I don't automatically win that decision, I'm not dating her anymore. I don't have many standards when it comes to dating, but that's definitely going to be one of them. In fact, I am putting that on my official standards list. That's right. A man's got to know who he is and what he wants. And then Jerkwad joins in. What? How do you count a three-way? Really? When you're trying to count the number of times two people have sex, what are you supposed to do with a three-way? Live with it. Only the three-way gets jumped by one of Rose's possible maybe ex-lovers. I think. It's really hard to tell with no lighting! So then the former lover proceeds to... Yes, and by the way, this is the next to last scene in our movie. This is our climax, and it's a rape sequence. This entire movie has been building up to a rape sequence. Which is fair, because that's what this movie's been doing to me for an hour and a half. So the mob kills the whiny girly boy, Jerkwad kills a bunch of them, and him and Rose drive off into the sunset together. The end. Of every movie I've done for what WTF Cinema, this is by far the most vile. The three main characters are a psychopathic, over-the-top jerk who absolutely does nothing but spread filth and hate, and that's all he's there for. A whiny, girly character who doesn't care about anything at all, and contributes nothing to anyone, anywhere, at any point. You could write him out of this film, and I don't think we'd notice. And then a foul-mouthed young lady who absolutely has no respect for anybody, anywhere. The only redeeming factor in her character, she gets naked. That's it. That's the only reason to see this movie. Rose McGowan gets naked. Guess what? I can see that on the internet. I don't need to watch a movie for that. So that's kind of a waste of my time as well. And do you know what the worst part of this film is? The very worst part, apart from all of it, is the fact that as you watch it, and you hear the dialogue, and you see the camera angles, you can tell. You can really tell that the director thinks he's making art. The director thinks he's being deep. He thinks he's being the voice of a generation, and he's not. You know what the director's doing? He's pissing me off. That's what the director's doing. He's not impressing anybody with his lackluster attempts to create something resembling something watchable. Join us next week, when I will go ahead and finally do Mad Max. It's gotta be better than this.
Thank you for watching WTF Cinema. Until next time, what the f***, man?